question 37, I think we have our first statistics type question of the test. Let's see if I can't get our calculator in here. There we go. I need it on this one. Let's read through the question right quick, try to figure out a couple strategies we might be able to use to solve this. George has scores of 76, 78, 79, 67 on 4 history tests, and that is going to be important. So he has these 4 scores on 4 tests. Again, you'll notice they have written the number 4 out in letters instead of in the numerical term 4. And what is the lowest score George can have on the 5th? There we go again. Writing it out in 5th test to have an average score. So his average score, we want him to have an average score of 80. So he is going to have, and let's talk about this last the question part in here. Let's talk about a couple of things in here to try to figure out where do we need to be. So he's going to have some total number of his test scores. So we'll put some number up here. He's going to divide that by his 5 scores, and he wants that to equal an 80 average. So now we have to kind of think, okay, what total number divided by 5 would equal 80? The other thing we can do is we can, to solve that, what is our total? All right, so this is total of all 5 scores. Here, the total number of all 5 scores needs to be an average of 80. So we could come over here, we could solve that by multiplying both sides of the equation by 5. So 80 times 5 would give us 400. So we need a total then, right here, our total number to be 400. So now, all we got to do is we look back and say, well, George has taken 4 tests, and these are his scores on those 4, and I need some other test, his 5th one, to add to all of these 4 and get a total of 400. Well, the way we can do is we can work this backwards. We can say, okay, we need a total of 400. We're going to subtract off each one of these scores then. So he's got a 76, and then we'll subtract off a 78. Whoops, let's start over here. So we got 400 minus a 76, and then we're going to subtract the 78, subtract the 79, and then subtract the 67. Didn't do so well. Oops. Minus the 67. So if I could learn how to use this calculator, I'd be in better shape. Let's try it one more time. Repetition never hurts. 400 minus 76 minus 78 minus 79 minus the 67. Yeah, I got it right that time. Good for me. And that all equals 100. So he needs a 100 on his next test in order to have an average of 80 for his 5 tests. So the correct answer then is answer D, 100. So that's how we're working through that one. So when you have these where you've got to find your last score that you need, so take the average score you want and multiply it by the total number of tests that you'll have. In this case was 5. So we can say 80 times 5. So we need a total points to divide up. We need a total of 400 points. And then we took our 400 after multiple attempts on the calculator. I finally got it to work correctly for us. We took the 400 and subtracted off what each one of the 4 tests we've already taken were. And that left us with 100 points left over. And we needed 100 points on our last test to get that 80 average that we were looking for. So the moral of the story is don't get yourself in a hole with a 67, and you wouldn't have had to make 100. You would have had to